everybody, and welcome back to Witchcraft with the Arthritic Artisan. Today we are going to be making a super cute little springtime bunny in a garden terrarium. If you purchase my DIY kit, you get everything that you need to make this adorable little bunny terrarium. So let's get started. We need a bubble bowl, about a handful. It's about 6 grams of moss, some jute twine, Mod Podge, some chalk paint, some paint brushes. You're gonna need a coffee stir stick or very short, very skinny dowel rod, a white styrofoam bunny, some little mini glitter Easter eggs, some floral bits and pieces, and some printouts to make your little garden sign with, scissors, and your glue gun. We're going to start by just dropping some hot glue straight into the bottom of your terrarium. And then putting all that beautiful green moss right inside. We won't be needing this for a while, so we are going to set this aside. We are going to take our cute little bunny. You're going to cut off 3.5 inches of your little coffee stir stick if you have a stir stick. If not, cut a very small rod, and you'll see why we need this in a little while. Anyway, to 3.5 inches. 2 inches is going to go into and stay in the bunny. This is so that you have something to hold on to when you're trying to paint your bunny. So we're just going to stick the stick up the bunny's, well, we're going to say tummy. We're going to take our paint and we are going to put 2 coats of paint on our little bunny. If you buy this DIY kit off of my website or off of my Etsy store, you get your choice of paint colors. I just chose this blue. It's called Tranquil Tide. It's by Folk Art Home Decor. So we are just making a blue bunny. Chalk paint dries relatively quickly. If you want to speed up the drying time on this bunny, you can use your hair dryer. I would put it on cool because we don't want that styrofoam to melt or get distorted. All right, let's set this bunny aside to dry. While the bunny is drying, we are going to make a little bow for its neck out of some jute. Just wrap it around 2 fingers. About 3 times. Cut that end off. Take a little bit of jute and just tie a knot straight in the center, and that's going to make a cute little bow. Trim the ends. If you don't like jute, you can put a ribbon around your little bunny's neck, anything you want, or you don't have to put one at all. Once your bunny dries, you are just going to hot glue the bow right to the bunny's neck. I have one that I already have dry and put together. Once your bunny is dry, go ahead and cut that stick right at that mark. Now don't yell at me, y'all. I have several pair of scissors. I have one I cut fabric with, I have one I cut wood with, I have one I cut leather with. We are going to take some hot glue to the bottom of that stick, and we are just going to put this bunny straight in the center of this little terrarium. Add a little bit of hot glue also to the underneath side of your bunny. It'll help it stick to that moss and stand up just a little bit better. We're gonna make our springtime bunny sign now. You're gonna take this wooden domino. Now if you buy a DIY kit, this comes with the pieces already cut for you to the right size. But cut the end off this domino, and I use the dominoes because you get a lot of these little wooden dominoes in a pack at the dollar store in the toy section. And they are basswood and they just come in so handy. You're gonna cut this domino in half, and then you're gonna cut those halves in half again. This does not have to be perfect. This is handmade. No measuring required. We are going to paint the back of the signs in whatever color you want. I'm going to use pink for my sign. You're gonna do 1 or 2 coats depending on the coverage that you get. You're gonna set that aside and let it dry. I did not have one of these ready to go, so I did go and put it under my hair dryer, and I swear this chalk paint dried in less than a minute. Once the paint is dry, we are going to Mod Podge one of your little signs onto the back of your domino. So just cut out whatever one you want. And if you get the DIY kit, whatever color paint you choose is the same color that I send you the signs. Put a piece of plastic or something down first before you Mod Podge. That way you don't get the glue on your surface. If you've ever worked with Mod Podge, you know that once it's stuck, it is stuck forever. It's not going to take a whole lot. Just going to brush a thin layer. Lay your garden sign face down and place your wood piece right in the center. I do it this way so that I make sure that the paper gets all the way edge to edge. Once I have that on, I'm just going to trim that all the way around. And take a little bit of Mod Podge and go straight over the top of it. This is going to seal your little sign and give it better adhesion to the wood piece. Don't worry that it's white. Mod Podge is going to dry perfectly clear. While this is drying, we are going to make the stake for the back of the sign. Take your jute twine. This is almost empty, which means I'm almost at the end of my rope. Corny? A little corny. Add a dab of hot glue to the top. Stick the jute twine on it. Give it a little bit to dry. Don't burn yourself. Please don't burn yourself. Then you are going to start wrapping the jute around the stick. Add a bit of hot glue at the end. Give that a second to dry. Trim it off, and you are done with that. while we are still waiting for this garden sign to finish drying with its Mod Podge. It'll take a little bit unless you go hit it also with your hair dryer like I like to do. We're gonna take just some floral pieces and we are going to start hot gluing these in around your bunny. Quick tip, put your flowers and stems in first to see where you'd like them to go, and once you're satisfied, then glue them in. It's going to be really difficult to move them around once you have that hot glue. Put your little Easter eggs in, and if you want to use just the flowers, you can completely leave the eggs out. This is your DIY, this is your decoration. However you want to do it is totally up to you. If you want just the eggs and no flowers, again, completely up to you. I think that looks good. So let's start gluing these in place. Just hit it with some hot glue at the bottom of the stem. Stick it on in. Another quick tip, if you get hot glue hair like I just did, let it stay and dry. Don't try to wipe it off right away. That will cause it to smear and so much harder to clean up. Once it's dry, you can just peel it straight off. It makes it so much easier. I need to stop doing these crafts where I have to put my hands in tiny little spaces. My hands do not like small spaces. Okay, while this is not completely dry yet, I'm just going to get a little bit impatient and we are going to continue. I'm going to add a little bit of hot glue at the top of the jute wrapped stake that you made, and you are going to place your sign right on that hot glue. I don't want to touch the front too much yet because, like I said, this is not completely dry. Sometimes it's cute to put your sign at an angle. Oh, I think I'm going to leave it like that. If you want it perfectly straight, you can do that. If you want it upside down, oh my goodness, like I said, this is your DIY kit. Add some hot glue right to the bottom and shove that down in anywhere you think that sign is going to look best. I'm going to go right next to our cute little bunny. If you like this project, give me a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and get notified about all future projects and videos. And until next time, have a magical day.